the better. Even when you cold, baby, I'ma be your sweater. You're my Aaliyah, so I'm writing you this letter. I'm just trying to make you see that we stronger together. Stuck on you like leather, soul ties like we tethered. Ask me what I want you for, I'ma tell you forever. We gon' do it or we not, it's now or never. I ain't gonna chase you, I'm too busy chasing cheddar. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
You got me keeping my distance. You say crying and resisting. Whenever I speak,
You don't listen, who don't pique your interest? When you come home, you act different. This is what it is, just keeping it real. I'm playing the field, cause we don't have time. Baby, just don't lie, I'm out here on my grind. Money on my mind, yeah. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make a flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now you can't tell me I'm not lit. Every time that we alone, you just want me to hit. All that in a bag of chips, you be my honey dip. Everything I have, we gon' split. But you changing up like the weather, it's never for the better. Even when you cold, baby, I'ma be your sweater. You're my Aaliyah, so I'm writing you this letter. I'm just trying to make you see that we stronger together. Stuck on you like leather, soul ties like we tethered. Ask me what I want you for, I'ma tell you forever. We gon' do it or we not, it's now or never. I ain't gonna chase you, I'm too busy chasing cheddar. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
You got me keeping my distance. You say crying and resisting. Whenever I speak,
You don't listen, who don't pique your interest? When you come home, you act different. This is what it is, just keeping it real. I'm playing the field, cause we don't have time. Baby, just don't lie, I'm out here on my grind. Money on my mind, yeah. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make a flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
only the best internet radio station in the world. No, the universe.
Boardwalk Global Media Radio.
Still.
Your systems are offline.
Oh shit, nigga! Is you crazy? Get the power back on!
Oh shit, here we go again.
If you want to see the videos of these shows, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Groovy Track, GROOVEYTRAC. Hit the subscribe button. You're tuned into Boardwalk Global Media. Your show will begin in the next 2 seconds.
Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now you can't tell me I'm not lit. Every time that we alone, you just want me to hit. All that in a bag of chips, you be my honey dip. Everything I have, we gon' split. But you changing up like the weather, it's never for the better. Even when you cold, baby, I'ma be your sweater. You're my Aaliyah, so I'm writing you this letter. I'm just trying to make you see that we stronger together. Stuck on you like leather, soul ties like we tethered. Ask me what I want you for, I'ma tell you forever. We gon' do it or we not, it's now or never. I ain't gonna chase you, I'm too busy chasing cheddar. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
You got me keeping my distance. You stay quiet and resistant. Whenever I speak,
You don't listen, you don't pique your interest. When you come home, you act different. This is what it is, just keeping it real. I'm playing the field, cause we don't have time. Baby, just don't lie, I'm out here on my grind. Money on my mind, yeah. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make a flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
Yeah, you already know who it is. It's your boy Chinks. And we back once again with my sister Falana and Q Media Nation. And we gonna get it rocking. Yeah. Mostly cloudy right now in New York City. 65 degrees. Might want to carry around a nice little sweater.
Yeah.
And it's all good. Falana's in the building.
Sister Falana.
We gonna get it rocking like this. 1, 2, 3, and... Hey, Sister Falana, how you doing?
I don't think we can see. Oh, she's not on the screen.
She's here in the Zoom.
Okay, she's not on the screen on Facebook.
Here we go. Let me hear something.
Peace.
There we go, Sister Falana.
There we go. Can you see me? I don't see me.
Yeah, we don't see you. No.
I don't see you I can't see it on YouTube. I can only see me on the Zoom.
Unfortunately, yes, we are having problems with the Zoom. But after we're done with the stream, you could share it from the Real Discussion page, and everybody
Okay,
be able to see
I
your
wanted you
beautiful
to see
self.
my outfit, so you'll see it later then.
Yeah, for sure.
I got on a whole revolutionary situation over here.
Okay, you got
All
what
right.
you got on your feet? Some combat boots?
No, I'm gonna send you a picture. Watch this.
All right, bet I want to see
It's
this.
gonna be
I like that mask.
funny. Oh, you see the mask?
Yeah, that's dope.
Oh, word? Okay.
Yeah, I
Cool,
can see you
cool.
right now, but the people on YouTube can't really see you.
Okay. Oh, you can
Yeah.
see me on YouTube.
Yeah,
On Zoom.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
could-
Yeah, this is my. I'm not gonna talk about Kanye outfit.
I see.
Great.
Okay.
I had enough of Yeezy.
It's like you already know how I feel. This is how I feel. This is like angry black woman moment. So
Talk about it.
we doing some things. So I'm gonna take this off because it's hot as hell up in here. So what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Everything's cool. Everything's cool. I mean, hey, we're back. I mean, it's been, I think,
Couple months.
a couple of months since we did Q Media Nation here. For everyone out there in Facebook land, Sister Falana, she's doing the show by Zoom.
Yes.
So
Yes,
she's
that-
not in studio. It's only myself and Chinks. That's in studio, and Sister Falana, she's on Zoom, so that's why you don't see her on screen. But the show must go on, right?
Yes, yep. We're gonna make it happen regardless. This is show number 3 for me today.
Oh,
Oh,
word?
look, you putting in that work.
Yeah, we putting in when I say work, I mean I'm not saying no plantation stuff, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Wait, so I had the
But-
pleasure. I'm sorry to cut you off. I had the pleasure of
No.
doing your second show.
No, this is the third one. I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
two
The
before.
last one you did, that was your second episode of Q Media.
No. This is for today.
Oh, this is your second show you're doing
This
today.
is my third show for today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
me and Miss Tonya had to get on and do some house cleaning with our audience.
Okay.
Just about supporting us and going into the Q Media Facebook group and
Okay.
start to promote yourself because we need more independent artists to gravitate to the page. Now we have over 200 folk in there that are in the international community, including here. So with that being said, I only have 2 people who consistently into the Q Media Facebook group and start to promote yourself because we need more. I'm hearing some.
You may have to turn. You may have to turn something down.
To the page. Now we have over 200 folk in there that are in the international community,
That's her.
including
Oh, that's-
here.
hold on.
So with that being said,
Oh no.
I only have 2 people who consistently.
Is that you, sister, or that me?
That's me.
Okay, you may have to. Yeah, Falana, you may have to turn down your phone or something.
I don't have.
Oh, you know it's Halloween, Ghost in the Machine. So
I know. Maybe because I was trying to get some stuff on. Okay, so it's coming through my phone. I apologize for that. But in any case, we have like 200 and something people in the private Q Media Nation Facebook group.
Okay.
But we only have 2 people who are really pushing themselves, and I want them to understand when we say we are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. We truly mean that because we are collective. We unify. When we deal with Hip Hop Boulevard and Boardwalk Global and so many other entities that we forming like Voltron, making it happen for a lot of independent artists. We'll get on with Maria Davis and Can't Be Silenced.
Right.
I need them to support what we're doing because we're doing it so that we don't have to end up having to have so much sponsorship that can be cut off just because we want something, we have something to say. So our platform should be free of all of that, shutting us down.
That's right.
All right, Gary, that's you.
We have Mandy Emerald Faith from Australia in the chat.
Okay.
We have Chris Knight from Canada in the chat. We have Oliviana from Canada in the chat, and we have Renee Mickens.
Hey,
Okay.
shout out to y'all.
We have some people here.
All right, cool.
We have some people here. So yeah, I mean, there's
Definitely supporting. Let's see. What have we been doing since we've been off the air? Off the Boardwalk Global, we've still been doing our blog talk because that's been our core audience. However, on blog talk, we don't reach a certain element of the audience. So on Boardwalk Global, we actually blaze some trails here, and folks have been coming in and seeing what we've been doing here, which is really great. So I want folks to be able to come here and see and hear us, and also get connected to the folks that are there. Unfortunately, Ms. Tonier is not with us tonight, so I kind of missed that. I kind of miss being in the studio with you guys. So shout out to you all for showing up and being there to run things. And then there's the new show, the Control Room, right?
yeah,
That's right.
on Thursday
Okay.
nights.
All right, cool. Thursday nights are nice. Now, one of the topics that I really wanted to get into, and I know Gary, we talk about this a lot in regards to sharing in the independent community, and how we have to work twice as hard to get what we need to get done in what we do. Now, you've been blazing the trail for years. Almost, got you some serious years there. No, actually, I'm older than he is. So, with that being said, what do we have slated for the coming months and the coming year?
Well, I mean, goodness, we have so there's a couple of independent artists that we're dealing with. I mean, I've obviously, as everyone knows, there's Baba T. His stuff is doing well. He has a new single going to be coming out, I think, around Thanksgiving time. He'll be back here in the States next year. So, he's one of my main focuses, because he's one of the few young artists that actually understands what needs to be done. He knows that things are not going to happen now. He knows that it's going to take, there's some work that needs to go. There's a lot of work that needs to be put in. And he's willing to put in that work. And the 2 years that I've been dealing with him, he's been nothing but professional listening and understanding. Whereas a lot of these new young artists, they don't want to hear nothing. They just think that, they could rap and they man do the beats and the other man gonna manage them and they happen to get a deal and everything's all good, right? And that's not how it works, right? So Baba T is one of the artists that we have, and then there's a couple of others that I know Rock is working with and stuff like that. We definitely want to create an independent outlet for a lot of artists, and not only for music, but just independent entertainment, right? This is why when Rock and I started Boardwalk Global Media, it's not only for the music, but I mean, we have, there's film and TV projects that we want to do. There's a lot of other things. So this is a boutique, diversified media entertainment company. So we really want to represent, right? Because I mean, it's in the entertainment industry, you want to be able to control your content,
Right.
right? And that's very important. And as you've heard me talk for many years about making sure the business is right, then that's what that's very important. And I think now there's so many opportunities out there where we can control what we do. So
Right.
so for the independent artists that we have and that we're dealing with, independent projects that we're doing, we want to be able to lay that foundation and stuff like that. So moving forward, there's a couple of things that we're looking to have, not only by the end of the year, but even for 2023, we're looking to make some serious things happen.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. That was one of the topics that we've been steadily on. I had an opportunity this past weekend, like I'm doing more moving around with Q Media to get directly to the people, because you can't move anything without other people. We could think that we live in a cyber world and robotics and all this stuff, but somebody got to push the button at some point. And we went out this weekend to do some humanitarian stuff from the Q Media Nation show, which we say we are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. And why we always say that life is in capital letters with an exclamation point is because life takes its twists and turns. We had an opportunity to be with a family whose 16-year-old was diagnosed with brain cancer.
My
now,
goodness.
At 16, I was doing me at 16, thinking nothing about parties and potentially college and, all of those kind of things. So for this young man to he's not suffering. The thing about it is they were doing a fundraiser for him. And what they did was they got together with some other businesses, and whatever proceeds from them buying a table at the event, that was a source of revenue for them to offset some of the medical bills that are coming in addition to, just his transportation and having to go to doctor's appointments and travel and airplane tickets and all of that. A lot of people don't think about that part of it. And so from our standpoint, in terms of independent media, we're able to get around much quicker. We don't need to get a form signed and, get a couple of press passes okayed. And, we're able to be on the ground. We're able to be in the mix. And I love that. And we absolutely gave some Black businesses an opportunity to shine because a lot of them don't have the social media extensions that we do. So I'm very grateful for Boardwalk Global in that sense, that we're able to get the word out and be able to share it in the independent industry. What's up, Chinks? I see you looking over at something.
Yeah. I don't know. The Zoom, I'm telling you, the Zoom acting up. So it says it's about to close in like 10 minutes. So we're going to have to open it back up.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
All right. But that's what we've been able to do from here. So today, when we got on the show earlier, it was about getting listener support,
Right,
and member support. Because if WNET Channel 13 in New York can ask for money, so can we. So that's what makes what we do so important. Should I wrap it up right here and we close out and come back, or what should we do?
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
All right.
All right, but I'm gonna close it up and I'll get you right back.
all right. So everyone, just hold tight. We're having a little tech difficulties, so we're gonna resume right in a couple of minutes. So just stay put.
and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now you can tell me I'm not lit. Every time that we alone, you just want me to hit. All that in a bag of chips, you be my honey dip. Everything I have, we gon' split. But you changing up like the weather, it's never for the better. Even when you cold, baby, I'ma be your sweater. You're my Aaliyah, so I'm writing you this letter. I'm just trying to make you see that we stronger together. Stuck on you like leather, soul ties like we tethered. Ask me what I want you for, I'ma tell you forever. We gon' do it or we not, it's now or never. I ain't gonna chase you, I'm too busy chasing cheddar. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
You got me keeping my distance. You stay quiet and resistant. Whenever I speak,
You don't listen, you don't pique your interest. When you come home, you act different. This is what it is, just keeping it real. I'm playing the field, cause we don't have time. Baby, just don't lie. I'm out here on my grind, money on my mind. Yeah. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make a flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
Yes, y'all. We coming back right now. And if you in the chat, if you viewing and you rocking with us, and you love Sister Falana and Q Media Nation and Boardwalk Global Media and Chinks and Gary D and Rock Logic, say what's up in the chat.
All right.
All right.
We
So
back.
half hour on the spot. But yeah, basically just getting out in the community and letting the community know who we are, what we're doing, and why I support the movement. I remember when we were just years ago, we'd just go in the park and utilize some of that free electricity to the some of that nice government electricity.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Gotta use your resources.
it's in
Absolutely.
the same spirit. This is why I say, and we talked about that. We talked about that earlier today too, about how whatever this is they call in hip hop is just not, because the culture has always sustained itself. That's how you know it's the human spirit that keeps it alive. It's not corporations, it's not corporate money spending. If anything, it waters everything down and then they call it whatever terminology they want, but that we know what true hip hop is. And coming from thinkers within the hip hop community, we know how to make things happen. When one door closes, another door opens, and that's why we do what we do. So shout out to our Boardwalk Global for making that happen for people like myself and Hip Hop Boulevard and Can't Be Silenced with Maria Davis, all of these shows that I always shout out. And of course, to the control room, tune in, folk, tune in, because you never know what part of the discussion you are a part of and what you can affect as change. And that we have the Hip Hop Museum now that took place, that came from the heart of the people wanting to see themselves in a fashion that would live beyond themselves, because we're losing a lot of our pioneers in hip hop. We're losing a lot of them, not so much just the young folk, but when you're not a name to the what they call the powers that be, but I always say we the powers that be. They just try to steal our shine. But because without us, you can't have hip hop. You just cannot. God damn it, you can't have it. So without us, there is no y'all. So that just speaks volumes in and of itself. Hip hop has grown beyond just music. It is incorporating an entire world. It doesn't have a set leadership, though there are many people that claim they are bigger than the next person. So we make what we make happen because as individuals, we form to create create a collective. Living in Japan, I saw the effect of hip hop, but I also knew that if you don't have what we call boots on the ground, then anybody can come in and title it what they want, but only you know what the true story is. So all you truth tellers, go travel in the world because the international community will support you when America feels like they're turning their back on you. We could take a page out of W.E.B. Du Bois's book. He had to leave to expatriate, you know, and so many others. Look at James Baldwin, passed away in Paris, France, because at home you couldn't get the shine, but the people outside of home are really supporting what they do. Look at Gary with Baba T, an international artist who we had on with us. And this kid took what came out of the Bronx that now 40 years later is making new strides somewhere else. Now tell me that's not a true art form that is from God himself. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, we got this. So Boardwalk Global, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say that enough every time that I am blessed to be in the studio to rock and Gary and Chinks and Chinks, your mom, especially as well too. And I wouldn't be able to call these names out and know these names if I wasn't feeling like these are pioneers who are doing something tremendous. I saved Renee for last. Let me tell you why I saved Renee for last. I have to talk about my sister because she's a sister off the camera, in front of the camera, via text. I don't care what time I reach out to her. From the time that I've met her, she's been 100, as they say, HUNNID. I just changed it.
Right.
You know, just like that. Robin, straight up, first night I'm at Boardwalk Global on the camera, she's like bigging me up, and I didn't know what she looked like. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is, I'm telling you what the flavor of hip hop is not a hated thing. If you hated anything, you got on the mic, you blasted them, everybody went back home. You know, is when we start putting these other elements in there that don't make sense because there's enough out here for everybody. I think it was in the what movie was that? With Chris Tucker. Oh man, Dead Presidents. When the kids were stealing the gifts out the trunk, he was like, "You ain't got to steal. We got enough for everybody." Like it's really not. It's not needed. And we didn't start off like that. We started off, you know, when I have to say, on a selfish note, from Inglewood, New Jersey. When we first learned of Sugar Hill and I heard of this thing called hip hop, it was because we heard something that was in the park that somebody went to the Bronx and got. Now, I kind of knew what it was because I had family that lived in the South Bronx. So we brought back Spoon and G, and we brought back Curtis Blow and all of those, you know, they were independent people that were doing things, and we learned from them. They never changed their address just to suit the environment. We were in the environment, and when you love something, you live amongst their people, you learn to have the same spirit of the people, that what they want to hear is not just run of the mill, but it was always the B-boy was with the DJ, was with the MC, was with the B-girl. When we had the Playboy hoodies with the, you know, you had your name, you had your sign, you had your sneakers, you had everything that was hip hop. And I'm just so saddened by what we're seeing it be called as hip hop, and it's not. It's what we have to take better control of, and that's to control the narrative. So I'm gonna put a little period there and let you guys come on in the room with the discussion, and let's go there. Let's go there, because this show we talk real.
Well, I mean, I think that it's, hip hop obviously it's gone corporate, right? Because now it's companies see that it can make a lot of money. It's gone global. I mean, because of people like Africa Bambaataa, Ice-T, the Zulu Nation. When they went on their world tours, there were Zulu chapters popping up.
That's right.
So
still very fresh in Japan.
So I mean, now it's become a corporate business, but unfortunately what has happened is that you have a lot of people that don't understand the business end, and that's where a lot of us fall short. And you've heard me say this for years, and this is why I've been a stickler when it comes to doing business a certain way, or else I wouldn't do it. It hasn't been for the money. Like, I'm not one of those people that just because someone's going to wave a big check in your face, you do a deal. I've never been that person. And I've had plenty waved at me, right? So, so you have to have some ethics, some integrity, some morals. Now, I do understand that, when you get artists who come out the hood, and then they luck into getting a deal, and they're seeing more money than they ever saw, in their life. If they,
that's right.
If regularly they have, I don't know, $20 in their pocket or $25 in their pocket, now you got a label that's, hey, I'm going to give you $100,000 to do an album.
Take that.
Right. So, they jump into that. Now, from a business standpoint, obviously a label is going to do what they're going to do to make the most money and stuff like that. But a lot of these young artists, they get people who wind up being their managers that A, either don't know how to be a manager, or B, will just manipulate them.
That's right.
Right? And that has happened time and time again. But now we've come into an era now where you get some artists, you get managers, a lot of us are becoming more knowledgeable about the business, how it operates, right? And that's very, very important. So, so if you're gonna go do, there's so many opportunities out there to do these big deals, right? Like, for example, I was just talking with someone yesterday about what Jay-Z has done. Now, back in the days when we growing up, right, Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all of that stuff, all the fancy champagne, that was sort of untouchable to us because it was so expensive, right? Here it is, Jay-Z, right? He gets to do a deal with LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, right? This is a hip hop artist, right? Like, so this was unheard of 30 years ago, right? And it was no small deal. It's like a $400 million deal. So I always wanted to see hip hop artists evolve, right, into businessmen. Nas created a venture capital company, right? Queensbridge Ventures, invested in Lyft and Uber and a bunch of other companies where, so he can make bigger moves. But what I'm saying is our culture, we start in one area, we're true to the culture, but as we evolve, as we grow older, we want to be able to, you want to be businessmen and women to get into doing the bigger money, right? You could get your music industry money and flip that into doing, if it's film, TV, fashion, what have you. And now where hip hop is, it's so mainstream now, sky's the limit, right?
That's right.
So literally we have hip hop artists that's doing multi-million-dollar deals.
Right.
Right? Which again, 20, 30 years ago was completely unheard of. Rihanna, her Fenty line with Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, right? We could call her an R&B dancehall hip hop chick. Come on, 20 years ago that was unheard of. So my point is this is big business, and how I've always talked for many years. This is where I like seeing these type of deals happen for us, because they only think that we only know the street stuff, right?
Right.
Right. So, but now to sit in the boardroom and have those kind of discussions to take stuff to the next level, some of them, they're not accustomed to that. I know that when at the times when I was in the mayor's office and I told them, hey, well, I worked in investment banking. I was on Wall Street. They look at me like, you?
Right.
So unfortunately there's that perception when you're into hip hop, you're not supposed to be smart like that.
Nope.
Right? You're not supposed to be on that level.
Nope.
Right?
Not ever.
Right? You're not so when I see Jay-Z and Nas and Rihanna and some of these other artists doing these big corporate deals, I love it, because that's where we're supposed to be, bro.
That's right. You gotta think higher, and the vibration has to be higher in this art form. Even if we didn't have two turntables, we had what we call beatbox. We had tables in the lunchroom. You know what I mean?
I remember the days. Yeah.
We made things happen, and that's why I'm saying, if you're just sitting around waiting on a deal to just drop in your lap, or you figure, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just, I'm gonna take it here for a second, because I gotta go here. When artists hit me and they say, well, I don't have any money, then my response probably should be, well, I don't have any time. Because honestly, I have to pay for the things that are going to make the outlet that you want, or the platform that you want to be on. It costs me money to get on there. So if I give it to you for free, am I doing you a service or a disservice? Let's take, for instance, a stage like Maria Davis's stage. Somebody who clearly is legendary, a living legend, is giving you a stage that she is putting serious money behind. She's putting a name behind it. She's putting her resources behind it. She's using a live band that can pick up anywhere. That anytime you get started with what you want to say, whether it's R&B, whether it's hip hop, whatever the music genre is, whether you call yourself from the South, from North, from Cali, wherever, the band picks up from where you need it to be. You got your resident hype man that's there, who stays on the stage, who's off stage checking it out. You have people in the audience who are checking out your talent. And you mean to tell me you don't have something to put into your craft? So what do you think that these folks who are the Jay-Z's, do you think they were just sitting around? Do you think Jay-Z was literally sitting around in the Marcy Projects waiting on something to happen? No, he had to flip what he was doing in the street to make it happen in the boardroom. So I'm saying, as advice to many of you artists, get your business straight. I've been promoting a book from a woman I've never even met before, and it's called How to Sign Yourself. And she wrote a $20 book, ebook that you can purchase to teach yourself how to navigate getting your royalties. Then somebody like us, we come along and tell you we have extensions into iHeartRadio for you to get the royalties. Then we give you a stage. Then we give you an online presence and platform with other people who are industry veterans. And you mean to tell me, you want to tell me that you don't have it, but I see you high as a kite, drunk as a skunk, laced from head to toe in the latest fashion, and you don't have $100, then obviously I don't have time. Very rarely do I say it. Sometimes I just look at the phone and they'll go, okay, nobody. You know, like let it just go. Because when are we going to grow up? When are we going to grow up in this industry and realize that nothing is for free and you're waiting on somebody to bring you your food, clothing, and shelter, and then wonder why some of these labels are signing people who all of a sudden they just die. All of a sudden, you know, nobody was shooting them before. All of a sudden they get shot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not putting it out there that that's, you know, what's really going on. But when you're putting yourself out there in a certain way, and then you're expecting not the elements to come to you, you have to be careful of your surroundings. You know, so
there isn't
you flashing it, and then you being ignorant at the same time. So
well,
that's my take on it.
there's artists that you know, they don't want to put in the time, the effort, the energy, or the money. You know, you've known me for years and stuff like that, and it's like Bobby T is the first artist I've dealt with in years, right? Because the network of people that I deal with, I go back 30 years with, right? So when I call them, it's like, Gary, what do you need me to do, right? So for me to get an artist that doesn't want to do anything or expects me to just take them and think that, oh, just because they got this talent, right, and then think that, oh, I'm just going to get them this huge deal. It doesn't work like that. You know, it doesn't work like that. Like, you got to, first of all, you got to invest in yourself before someone else can invest in you. Whether it's investing in time, whether it's investing in money, you have to be able to invest in yourself to show people that you have a product. Some of these artists, they don't want to put out and they don't want to take time to invest in themselves to do the basic things that they need to do that's going to help take them to the next level. They think that, oh, you know, someone's just going to come and put them on like that, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, and then they want to get mad when things don't go their way, right? Or they feel some kind of way, and it's like, look, I don't play that. I don't tolerate that. I've told many, like, yo, I don't need you like that, right? You're trying to get to where I'm at, right? I got, you know, there are doors I can walk in, you'll never get in, right? So
oh damn.
So these are 30, 40 years of relationships, right?
Relationships.
Right. So like some of the people that I've dealt with and came up with, they're the movers and shakers now, right? They're
That talk, Gary.
They're the record company presidents. They're the top agents and stuff like that. Right. So for some new artist to try to give me an attitude, it's like, come on, like. And
sit down.
In this industry, I mean, it's big but yet small. Like, the higher up you go, the smaller the circle gets.
That's right.
Right now,
you have to pay homage to who's helping.
And I'm the first one to say it. I may not, like, you know, there are a lot of people that say, oh, well, I know everybody. And when I say I, sometimes they themselves, they want to talk about who they know. I'm not going to say that I know everybody, but the key people in certain places, they know me. Right? So I don't need to have someone say, well, you know, I asked my friend about you and they don't know you. All right, fine. I don't care.
So, and what's what? I think a lot of people getting twisted being in front of the camera as opposed to being the decision maker. Because often the person in front of the camera is not the decision maker. However, when you're in the independent industry, generally the person running the board and running their mouth is the person that's running the business. That's the difference. They own it. It's called ownership. Do you really own the talent that God gave you? You know, what are you putting into it? You're investing in yourself. I'm not paying you. I'm investing in myself. When we change, in other words, change the language that you're using, you know? So I wanted to go back to something. When I found out that this is what I really wanted to do in terms of having a show. We did it as, you know, I was helping somebody else out, and I knew that it was something that I really enjoyed doing. It's a labor of love. Yeah. Was I bawling earlier today? Yes. I was like, God damn it, what are we doing wrong? We gotta do some more shit that's right. You know, I was, you know, literally going there with you this morning, Gary, when we were going back and forth, and you were like, look at your WhatsApp. And I think my eyeballs probably look like Garfield at about 4 o'clock this morning, because as an entrepreneur, you're wondering what's the next step? Because I have to make the next step, and I have to make the next step count. So as artists, first and foremost, for me, I was an artist. I started as an artist. I didn't start out as, you know, getting on here. But then once you realize you have a much bigger calling than just being on the mic and wanting to sell a few things, you have way more talent, and we have to learn how to generate the culture, like share the information. Don't hold on to it. You know, like I've had people hit me and they'll say, oh, you know, I could get you with 5,000 DJs for $10,000. And this is me. Really? Thank you. Because the internet has billions of people. And if I don't know, click the damn button on my phone and learn how to create an audience, those are the people that are buying. I don't necessarily just need the DJ. You don't need 1 million DJs to get your thing out. You need to make enough noise so that the people who are buying the music can also, get their music from you directly, and cut out the middleman. No disrespect to the DJs, because when they go to different parties and they're showcasing your music and stuff, but when you don't have the budget and you think that somebody else has a name, that DJ many times, and you know, being somebody that dealt with the DJ world too, they'll take money from you and that DJ that just likes to shine, and they'll put you on a flyer and they'll send it out to a few other DJs or a few other friends, but they're not promoting you when you're not paying them. They're not generating anything else for you. Once you pay them for that one event, they do what they do and they're done with you. But it's the relationship. That's what I wanted to go back to, Gary. All of this that we're talking about is relationship marketing. Because if I could pick up the phone 20 years later and say, hey, Gary, I got this idea. We've paid some dues with each other along the way. That says Gary can send me, or Gary can say something to me that's way different than if somebody else said it, because I built the relationship that pays it forward. If I don't have the relationship with you and I'm building it with somebody else, how do I leave off that relationship to take on a relationship with somebody else? And a lot of us, I have to say, industry whores. Seriously, you whoring for any dollar that is dangled in front of your face, when all you have to do is believe in you, and you have people paying to see you.
Well,
so
a lot of them, they don't, with a lot of these artists, they don't have good business people around them. They start to get into making money, and you're supposed to have a good manager, a good business manager, that is going to give you wise counsel, right? And some, you get some artists that they don't want to listen, right? And that's very, that is really messed up, because a lot of them think that the big money is going to keep coming, right?
Right.
And that's not always the case because eventually that faucet is going to be turned off,
That's right. That's
right? So many artists have gone broke. So many artists have went in when they got the big money. What they do, they went and got the rolls and the beam and the house and the car and the jet and all this other stuff. And 10 years later, they broke, right? They're not understanding that. Like, look, I'm not opposed to you buying all the nice things or the fancy things, but you have to have income streams that's going to support that lifestyle.
That's right. That's right.
Right? They don't get that. Like, they don't get that. They just think that all the big money is going to keep on coming. And it doesn't.
Right.
And it doesn't work like that. And unfortunately, some of these artists, they don't have anyone. Well, I think there's two parts. They don't have anyone that actually sits them down and lets them know, like, look, this is how you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Or, you get a lot of them that they feel that they know it all. So, and then, when you let and me, I'm the type of person, if you feel like you know it all, then I'm
okay.
Because I mean, look, you have some of these multimillionaires, billionaires, major CEOs. They'll sit down and tell you they're not the smartest person in the room.
That's right.
Right. So from a quote from Machiavelli to Prince, you gotta, a good prince has wise counsel.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. So come on. So if you making money like that and you're not listening to people around you, what? Come on.
When you broke, it's like, yo, you know me, right?
You can't you mess things up, right? You can't, wise counsel. Now your counsel clearly is not going to have the type of money you got, but you're smart enough to get all these people together where your leadership and your insiders will be like, well, okay, I could take that, follow their ideas and advice. And as a collective, this could help me, which, helps them. But
that's right.
When you not listening to your counsel or you don't have wise counsel, then you self-destruct.
Right. Because, and sometimes we don't think about, the person that's grinning and smiling and patting you on the back and all of that kind of stuff. Some of the artists, you're just a commercial to them. When the commercial is off, then they go to the main program and then they close the door and you don't make it to the main program.
Of course.
Your project can get shelved. Your project they could fire you and you don't even know it. I've seen instances where an artist was fired from the label in the middle of a tour and they're looking for the money for the rest of the tour, and they don't know they've been let go.
But then see again, that goes back to bad. So if they have a manager that doesn't know what they're doing, then stuff like that will happen.
Yes.
Right, and stuff like that. You can't when you're entering. First and foremost, this is a business, and this is what I told Baba T. This is a business, right? You're a business, so. When you're going into these contractual agreements, you have to make sure that the agreements is mutually beneficial between you and whatever entity or company that you're doing business with. Some of these artists, they're not in tune like that. They may have their lawyer that, oh, okay, yes, sign this, they're going to give you $1 million or they're going to give you $2 million. Stuff like that, and not understand that the contract that you signed, as our Bert Padell told me, is like you've signed away years of your life you haven't lived yet, and for what? Right? You sign. One of the first lessons Bert Padell taught me was, and for those of you that don't know who Bert Padell is, he was one of the top entertainment business managers that represented people like Madonna, Puff Daddy, Run DMC, and I could go on and on. He was like a mentor to me. So Bert said, if a record company signs, he says, always remember this, whatever a record company signs you for or money you get from a record company, let's say you get $1 million, 50% of that immediately goes to taxes, right? straight off the bat, right? Then you got to work on your album, and then you got staff you got to pay for. How far is that money going to go? And that was back then, right?
Right.
Now it's like you got these guys getting these, $2, $3, $4 million deals, $5 million deals. Again, 50% in taxes. Now you got your label, your album, all these things that you got to pay for. And mind you, when you get that kind of money, it's not like the record company is going to give you money later, like a couple of months later. Right? So you're talking about a royalty check. You're going to start probably getting a royalty check maybe 2 years after you sign your deal. Right?
Crazy.
So they don't understand how the business. They don't. So my point is, a lot of these artists, they don't understand. Not only they don't understand how the business works, but they have managers that don't understand how the business works. So all they're looking for is their manager's cut, which is either between 15 and 25% that they take, and that's it.
You know what? Let me stop you right there.
Go ahead.
The Zoom's gonna run out in like 5 minutes. We could pick it back up, Sister Falana, if you would like to. But I just want to shout out everybody in the chat.
All right.
Renee Mickens.
I've been on it. I've been watching everybody's comment.
Yeah, everybody on it. So I just want to shout them out. You know what I'm saying? Tasha says we need another underground station like the one Stretch and Bobbito had.
Oh, absolutely. Those are my boys, Stretch and Bob. Yes.
Word. Renee Mickens says many of them don't have good business practice, period. They are anxious for the bag and they trespass their own logical thinking. That's right.
I mean, see, like, that's why we created this particular show, so that we could talk.
That's right.
Like have something to say and something to offer other than just you. We've got to take this culture further than what our lives are. I had the pleasure of, I'm going to just try to end with this. I had the pleasure of learning from one of the best business minds, and I think many of you may know the jazz community. Many of them put their labels, they were signed to big labels, but a lot of their business, they put it in their wives' names, they put it in their children's names, like they're going on. And I had a mentor that took me under her wing, Aisha Tyner, that was McCoy Tyner's wife. She took me under her wing at 12 years old. And we had an opportunity to learn from Dizzy Gillespie and, people like that you could go to their house, Georgia Benson, and sit down and have dinner and actually talk and learn from them, from their foot, learning the business side of things, not just the show side. And so I thank her so much for sitting me down and saying, look, maybe that's not where your only talent is in singing or rapping. Maybe you want to learn the publishing end of things and diversify. And I thank her to this day for everything that she imparted to me in knowledge. I guess we are done for another one.
It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to close out the Zoom and pick it back up, we can do that. We can run for another half an hour. We can do that.
It's up to you.
Whatever you want.
It's 9:12, so we could go to 9:30.
All right, cool. Let's do that.
There we go.
All right, bet. So meanwhile, in the meantime, we're gonna let some music rock.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get Sister Falana back in the building. All right.
Gotcha.
Up off the rip, I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could say your vibe is off, but it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could say your vibe is off, but it's okay cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now you can't tell me I'm not lit. Every time that we alone, you just want me to hit. All that in a bag of chips, you be my honey dip. Everything I have, we gon' split. But you changing up like the weather. It's never for the better. Even when you cold, baby, I'ma be your sweater. You're my Aaliyah, so I'm writing you this letter. I'm just trying to make you see that we stronger together. Stuck on you like leather, soul ties like we tethered. Ask me what I want you for, I'ma tell you forever. We gon' do it or we not, it's not whenever. I ain't gonna chase you, I'm too busy chasing cheddar. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay, cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on. Now I'ma go and tell you this up off the rip. I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, could tell your vibe is off. But it's okay, cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
You got me keeping my distance. You stay quiet and resistant. Whenever I speak,
You don't listen, you don't pique your interest. When you come home, you act different. This is what it is, just keeping it real. I'm
Shout out to Renee Mickens.
Just don't lie, I'm out here on my grind, money on my mind. Yeah. Now I'ma go and tell you this.
Tasha, I see you, baby.
I be in my zone like I gotta make a flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's
Comedian
okay, 'cause
Nation.
I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
Shout out to Tricky,
Now I'ma
DJ
go and
Supreme,
tell you this up off the rip.
Chris Knight.
I be in my zone like I gotta make it flip. I'm feeling the energy, can tell your vibe is off. But it's okay, cause I'm lit, I'm hot, I'm putting on.
Don't forget, y'all, we throwing a turkey drive. Our annual turkey drive. BGM, Boardwalk Global Media, is throwing an annual turkey drive. We're giving away 250 turkeys at Washington Houses in Harlem. And we need you guys to donate. So far, we have raised $300 in a week. And we need you guys to donate. So on Cash App, you could type in $ BGM Podcast and donate whatever. I don't care. 50 cents, $1, $2. Every little thing helps. We trying to feed everybody. We trying to have everybody stuffed like a turkey. You heard? We trying to have everybody stuffed like a turkey this holiday season. So rock out with us. You know what I'm saying? Donate to Cash App, BGM Podcast. I'm working on something ahead of If anybody in the chat has any questions for Sister Falana, Gary D, or myself, feel free to shoot us whatever in the chat.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
But yeah, basically, I guess just wrapping things up. Let's keep the culture, steady. That was about all I had left. I'm serious. I'm saying that because it's not so much to keep talking about it as much as it is let's get to work and make it happen. Work the work.
Yeah.
Work the work.
I have to, and probably going to do it on the 2 other shows, but have to address the Kanye West situation.
Go right ahead. Wait. I gotta get my outfit together. I think that was on Big Daddy when the kid put the glasses on. He was like, I disappeared.
Yeah.
Nah, go ahead. We good.
I've seen, so there's been a lot of talk online, and a lot of people have their, they're taking their sides and stuff like that. And I think that there are a lot of people that are, I guess they're getting emotional about the situation and stuff like that. But, from my standpoint and from what I've seen is there's a couple of things that has happened here. It was great. Well, first of all, he did, as far as his music goes, he's definitely a genius when it comes to that. Then he did his Nike deal, left Nike and got his deal with Adidas and did a couple other deals, right? So now where we're at, dealing with the whole anti-Semitic stuff, I think what people need to understand is that when you're dealing with Jewish people, the term anti-Semitic means that anything that you say that makes them feel uncomfortable, right? Now, when Kanye said about the Jews own the media, I was with him on that because it's true, right? If he would have said, look, the Jews own the media, if you don't believe me, you can Google it or look up any major company. Now, where he went left at is saying the DEFCON, when I wake up, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on the Jews. That's the problem. That right there is the problem, right? And people have to understand. See, here's the thing. A lot of people talk about free speech, which I'm all for, but you have to be accountable for what you say.
That's like a terroristic threat right there. Like
he said, right. But that's inflammatory speech, right? That's clearly inflammatory speech. So that right there was the problem. So clearly there was J.P. Morgan Chase that was like, yo, we're giving you until the end of November to get your money out of here. Who else? There was Vanity Fair that doesn't want to do business with him. Balenciaga, they didn't want to do business with him. But now, what struck me was Ari Emanuel. And some of y'all may not know who he is. He's the CEO for Endeavor, which is one of the largest talent agencies. Ari Emanuel wrote an opt-ad in the Financial Times. Right? Who reads the Financial Times? High net worth people, wealthy people. He wrote an op-ed in regards to what Kanye said and the anti-Semitic stuff and stuff like that, and say that he doesn't support that, and his agency is not going to deal with anybody like that. Mm-hmm. Right? So that went all over. That went all over the place. Next thing, it was the president, the CEO of UTA, sent out a memo to all his people at UTA, which is United Talent Agency, which is one of the other large talent agencies in Hollywood. So, and then after that, Brian Lord, who is the head of CAA, which is Kanye's talent agency, and CAA is also one of the top talent agencies. So basically, you have Endeavor, UTA and CAA, they don't want nothing to do with him. Right? So you want to talk about the severe impact of that is, right? So, then finally Adidas, right? Adidas finally said that, okay, we're not doing business with him. Now, clearly the other day on Drink Champs, he said, I could say anti-Semitic stuff and Adidas can't drop me. See, here's the thing, and we go back to business, right? If in his contract, right, there was a clause, because most of these big deals have what's called a morality clause, right? So if they had a morality clause or something like that in there, then that could be a very big problem. And as far as what Adidas, from what I saw, Adidas said, it apparently violated a clause that they had, right? So and his billionaire status, I want people to understand something here, right? And this is just stuff in general. When you hear billionaire, people think, oh, they got $1 billion in the bank, right? And a lot of these, with people like Kanye and Jay, even Oprah and Michael Jordan, they're at the lower end of the list. You're talking about $2 billion, $3 billion. So with Kanye, what it was first of all, when you have your net worth doesn't equal how much money you have in a bank, right? So people get misled when they hear, oh, this person, they have a net worth of, 500 million, $1 billion, 20 billion. That's your net worth is basically your financial and non-financial assets minus your liabilities, right? That's the gist of it. Now, there are two main billionaire indexes. There is the Bloomberg Billionaire Index, which is updated daily. Then there's the Forbes Billionaire Index. Now, most of the major billionaires, their wealth is tied to their publicly traded corporation, unless they come from a family where they inherited, right? So, and these are some things that people sort of need to understand, right? So with Kanye, it was his Adidas deal that put him in the billionaire category, right? Because it wasn't that they gave him $1 billion. He was liquid, something like $200 million in the bank. But because it was a 10-year deal with $200 million a year they were paying him or something like that, UBS valued that to be somewhere around there, in addition to whatever other holdings that he had. So now that he has lost that deal, now he's down to his net worth is somewhere about 400 million. Right? So, and this is what people have to, so these are some things that what people have to understand. So moving forward is the things that, people think, there are a lot of people that saying, well, okay, he's free from out of his deals, right? And he wanted to get out of Adidas, which, okay, yeah, he did, but at what cost? At what cost?
Right.
Right? A lot of artists, a lot of people sign bad deals. Look, Jay is having to fight with Doucet, what do you call it, Bacardi now. Because he didn't feel like they were being upfront with the financials. So he's in court with them now. Right? So I just want to close out by saying I just want to give some people some, a bit more clarity and sort of some more substance to what's going on here, instead of just, well, Kanye this, Kanye that, Jew people this, Jew people that, You know, this guy, he's someone that doesn't want to listen to anybody.
Right.
Yo, they canceling him all around because I don't know if you know he funded his own documentary was worth $2 million, and I don't think we're ever gonna have an opportunity to see it.
This is what I'm. It's see and see can't. I think cancel is a strong word, but it's like again, you have to be careful what you say. Like for example, look, Mike, right? When Michael Jackson said, "You don't care about us," we knew what that was, and that was a great video, great music, all of that. Right? But see, you know, it's a way to say things.
All right, so let me ask you a question. You're managing Balba T right now. And right now, with all the stuff going on with Kanye, if Kanye said, yo, Gary, I need you. Gary Fax has all the answers. I need you to be my manager. What would be Kanye's next move? What would you have Kanye do?
Fire the people around him. Like, it's, you know, Chinks, you gotta understand. I've been in so many, I could tell you stories of people that came to me that just because it's not a money thing for me. Like, I got integrity, okay?
Right.
I'm one of the few people, and Rock is probably one of the other few people, and Lays, that we haven't sold our soul.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, he doesn't, you know, unfortunately, he doesn't want to listen to anybody. You know, his attitude is, if you're not making money, if you're not rich like me, or you're making money like me, then I don't want to listen to you.
Right, right.
Like, now, Jack Welch, who was probably one of the most respected CEOs who ran GE, Jack Welch is like, yo, you know, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and this guy's worth billions. You know, and ran one of the biggest corporations in the world. Okay. You know, Jeff Bezos, the same thing. So I'm just saying, he was on the right path. You know what I mean? And the thing is, he had all these deals which he could have leveraged to bigger shit.
Right.
You understand?
That's a fact.
That's right.
He could have leveraged it to.
He could have became.
What's the end goal?
He could have leveraged it to bigger shit. Right. This is so my thing is that I would say that he needs to fire people around him and get help and regroup, because he's done, when you done shot, he has really upset a lot of people, right? A lot of powerful people. Right? And this, you know, people think, oh, you know, this is some stunt or what have you. He's going to drop his next album and it's going to sell crazy. They don't understand this kind of level, right? They don't understand this. This is a whole nother level. So he's definitely going to have to try to mend some bridges, apologize to some people. But see, here's the problem. I'm going to end on this.
Apology tour.
Here's the problem. He has Candace Owens in his ear, and she don't even let me get started. That's a whole nother show. All right, I'm done.
All right, good. With that being said,
quick, you mentioned Lays. That's who you all had on another show that was talking about the Hip Hop Awards, the BET Hip Hop Awards.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't even get on that because this year, and I usually never watch the Hip Hop Awards for a couple of reasons. But this year, I have to say, it restored my faith. Some of the faith that I lost in it. Big up to all those who really made that happen. Matter of fact, I have it on DVR, and every so often of course I gotta go to the old school because this new stuff I don't even understand what they're saying. But I'm just no. But honestly, I love the way that it merged the old school, new school, some things that were there, and the ciphers. So. Shout out to Lays and all those.
Yeah, that was Steve Rifkin and Loud Records. I think it was the 30th anniversary of Loud.
Right.
So it was, it was definitely a special moment, because I remember when Steve had a street team, like before he even had Loud. So it was definitely a special moment to see something like this happen and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Well, this does it for another edition of the Q Media Nation show. We are your source for independent thought, politics, money, music, and life. Catch us Thursday night on our Instagram at Q Media Nation. And we're going to open up a couple of other things. We're doing Thursday night head-to-head, Thursday night football. Going to get out and meet some other folks and make this culture grow. We need more people in the cypher with us who are business people and making them grow, making them shine, as well as ourselves. Me and Miss Tonier will be head to head. I am a big time Ravens fan, and she is a big time Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. So we figured we would get together and do something like that. But again, I appeal to all of you, be a part of the Q Media Nation family. We love you, and we are out.
We out. Peace.
We out.